Hey folks, welcome back to Wild West Barbecue. Today we are doing something completely different from normal. We're going to do whiskey dark chocolate balls. This is something I wanted to try for a while. It looks interesting. I'm hoping it's going to come out better than the bourbon powder brisket I did a while back. We're going to find out. This is something that would be good for like a New Year's Eve treat or a party treat, just whip these together and put them out as basically an appetizer and you should be fine. So, let's get to it. Okay, the first ingredient we're going to need is 1 pound of dark chocolate. You can use milk chocolate if you want. I went with dark chocolate. For that, I've got 2 bags of Hershey's dark chocolate chocolate chips. I got 2 bags because they are not quite a pound each. Now, you can get a slab of chocolate and simply cut that up and shave it up if you like. I went with these because it's going to save me some work. The next ingredient we need is 1/3 a cup of heavy whipping cream. The fourth ingredient is sea salt. We need 1 teaspoon of sea salt. I'm going to go ahead and use the sea salt I smoked a while back. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description for that video. I figured that's a good way to get a slightly smoky flavor into this to complement everything else. And of course, the last ingredient is whiskey. You need 1/3 a cup. I'm going to go ahead and use Maker's Mark. It's one of my favorites. I've got it around the house, so why not? So with that, let's get into how we're actually going to prepare this recipe to get it made. Okay, I've got my ingredients measured out. I've got 1 pound of chocolate chips. We're going to go and pour it in here. I got 1/3 a cup of heavy cream. And I've got 2 tablespoons of butter chopped up thinly to help it melt. We're going to go ahead and drop this in here. And our next step is to go ahead and put this on the stove, stirring it occasionally until it melts. I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Bring you guys on back at that point. All right, it took about 5 minutes or so for that stuff to melt. It didn't take long. So we're on to the next step now. The next step is to go ahead and whisk in our whiskey and our sea salt. So we just got 1 teaspoon in here. Go ahead and whisk that in. It's fairly liquidy, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised. I thought the whiskey would incorporate a little better, but that's all right because we're going to go ahead and stick this in the fridge for a couple hours before we do anything else with it. Just it's getting a little better now, so just keep whisking until it gets to look like everything's been pretty much incorporated in there. I think this is pretty much good for me. So I'm going to go ahead and let this pan here sit out for 15 or 20 minutes because the bottom is, of course, still hot. I don't want to put it in the fridge and risk breaking the glass in there due to the temperature differential. So I'm going to let this sit out for 15 or 20 minutes and then stick it in the fridge for about 2 hours. And then once that's done, I'll bring you guys on back for the last process and how to make these. All right, it's been about 2 hours now. I pulled my pot out of the fridge and we're going to go ahead and see what we got. So if you can see that in the camera, this is hardened up nicely. It's going to be a lot easier to work with this way. So we're going to go ahead and use a simple melon baller to go ahead and get some balls out. Is good to go. There we got a simple chocolate ball. Now, this next step is entirely voluntary. You can do it or not if you want. You can go with the chocolate balls just like this, or you can go ahead and roll them in something like cocoa powder or sprinkles like you put on ice cream. I've personally chosen to roll mine in walnuts. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. We've got some chopped walnuts right here. Go ahead and roll this in there. Got some walnuts on there, and we should be pretty much good to go. So the only thing left to do is do a taste. I'm going to taste one with walnuts and one without. I'll get a fresh ball worked up here. I'm going to try the one without walnuts first, see how it came out. That's actually really good. You can definitely taste the sea salt and the alcohol. The alcohol is kind of just a hint of it in there. Now, do I think I'm going to get drunk eating a whole bunch of these? No, not at all. Now, would I eat a whole bunch of these and then go try to drive? Probably not, but I don't want to get DUI. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt and move on. So let's go ahead and try the one with the walnuts, see if it's any better or not. I do think the walnuts add a little something to it. It's a little extra kick to the final taste, a little texture to it, which is what I like. I think the texture of the walnuts really helps sell this. So there you have it. Whiskey infused chocolate balls. Good treat for parties. Overall, it's real simple to make and they're actually really tasty. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. That helps new viewers find my content. Until next time, guys.